this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me again today. Today, this little exploding card is my project to show you. You can see that it's a very 3D card, but actually it will fold, magical about it, will fold flat to go in an envelope. So I can pop that in a 6x6 envelope, 6" by 6" envelope, 15 centimetres by 15 centimetres. And that should just fit in there. So, and then the recipient opens it and tra-la, they've got a really nice 3D card. So what I'm going to do is today I'm going to show you the mechanism for making these cards so that you can make them yourself, and then tomorrow I'll post another video, and this time I will show you how I decorated this particular card. I quite like this one with the deer and the green and the cream. I quite like the copper with that colour scheme. I'm going to show you another one now. This is going to go in my drawer labelled OMG, what were you thinking? I don't know quite what I was thinking when I was making this. I was trying to coordinate colours and things, but actually it's just got too much going on. Honestly, I hate it. I still use the deers, but I've got 4 different types of glimmer paper going on there. One at the back, one the gold, the copper and the red. Just too much. Love this DSP with the crumb cake, but not sure that all my glimmer stuff goes with it. I don't know, just too much going on there for me. So this is not going to go have a happy ending. I think this is going to end up in the bin because it's just not clean and simple enough for me. So today I'm going to show you how to make the mechanism. This one does fold flat, you can see. Show you how to make the mechanism. Thanks to Michelle Last, who this was one of the mechanism was one of our make and takes at a recent training day, and so I've stolen the instructions from Michelle, but I will credit her on my blog. So what do I need? I need my scoreboard, and I'm going to do it in metric today, so I'm going to use my metric board, but I will put the measurements in inches on my blog, so if you want to work in inches you can. So this is our scoreboard, which actually the scoreboard is actually marked every 1/8 of an inch across the top there, up to 12.5 inches and down here, but the metric board just sits on top, and it's got irregular markings here and then every 1/2 centimetre there. Okay, but it does mark all the places that I need it to mark. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with an A4 sheet of card which measures 21 centimetres by 29.7 centimetres. If you are working in Imperial, it's 11 3/4 by 8 1/4 inches. Slightly different to American standard sizes. This is the UK standard size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piece of card and I'm going to score at 7 centimetres or 2 3/4, 14 centimetres or 5 1/2 inches, 21 centimetres or 8 1/4 inches, and then 28 centimetres, which is 11 inches. I'm then going to turn it round and I'm going to score once here at 7 centimetres or 2 3/4. So I've got a piece of card. I don't know how well you can see the score lines there. We've got score lines going down here and a score line across there. What I'm then going to do, I'll take out my scoreboard. I'm going to bring in my trimmer, because I'm going to trim a piece of the card off. And the reason you trim this off after you've scored is because you need these score lines. You're not going to throw this piece. You're going to trim a piece of card off, but you're not going to throw it away. So what we're going to do is we're going to butt this up, so you've got the small section here with your score line, and then a slightly bigger section, and you're going to line it up to 15 centimetres, or what's that in? Oh, I didn't write that measurement down. I'll put it on my blog. It's about 5 7/8 actually, I think, looking at my the cutter, 5 7/8. So we're going to cut this bit off here, but like I said, do not destroy that piece. You're going to need that piece. You're then going to come back to your card here, and we're going to burnish all those score lines. So just fold it where the score lines are. and the other way. And then we are going to cut. Oh, by the way, I'm using thick Whisper White today. On my sample card, I used our thick Very Vanilla, but on this one I'm using thick Whisper White. I'm going to do slightly different colour scheme this time. So you want the longer section at the top and the smaller section at the bottom, and we are then going to cut each of these score lines up to the other score line. So you're going to cut here up to there, and again up to there, and again up to there. Get a fist of this, there we go. And then we can actually take this tab off. We don't need this tab here, so you can cut this piece off completely. And I'm then going to come in with my corner rounder. I'm going to use my 3-in-1 punch here, and we're going to round the corners of these. So the bits where you've cut the score lines, where you've cut them, I'm going to fit this in here. Is that in? Doesn't feel like it's in. Doesn't feel like it's slotting in properly. Ah, there we go. Obviously something needed freeing. So punch, and we're going to do each corner so that we've got nicely rounded corners on these. I was amazed when I saw how easy it was to make these cards. It looks really complicated. Actually, it's very, very simple. You just need to follow these instructions. So one more there, one more there. It's always more difficult doing this on camera because I have to do it slightly out of where I would work so that it's in camera, rather than where I would normally work, a bit closer to me if I was working normally. There we go. And then all these are going to be our flaps that go over like so, and this is going to join up here. So I'm just going to put a bit of Tombow on there, and you can see how the mechanism is coming together already. We've already got our box without a bottom or a top. We've just got a box with flaps. So just can put that on there, and that should meet, and there. Now you can see on my card, I'm just going to hold this in place while I talk, that I've actually added another panel to here, and that's because we want the back of the card to stand up, and we've already scored it. So we're going to come back in with some panels on there, with a panel on there. So that's now glued. So there's my flaps. I would make sure your join is at the back there, so it doesn't, actually I would make sure it's there because we're going to cover it up, so that would be better. So what I'm going to do is come in with a panel. Now I've taken a piece of Whisper White, 6.5 centimetres by 14.5 centimetres. Again, I'm going to round the corners, and then I'm going to glue this panel on the front inside the box. Oh, that didn't go in the right place. What did I do there? There we go. Like so, and that will help to keep this back panel rigid. So again, a little bit of Tombow coming in there. There we go. Using the thick end here so I can spread the glue out. So you've got a choice, you've got a thin end and a thick end. Might be easier if I did it down. There we go. So that's going in there. And then we're going to do another one on the back because it will add a little bit more strength, but also it will give you a flat panel to write on. That's where you're going to write your message on this card, because at the minute it's got a score line through it. So I've got another piece of card, but I just need to cut the round the corners of. Thank you to whoever it was watching my video who told me that you can press this punch in the middle. It's made it so much easier. I was trying to push on each side for it. Made it a lot easier, that little tip. Thank you very much. There we go. So I'm going to put this on here. Glue that, and that's going to help our panel stand up even more stiffly and also give us something. So obviously if you wanted to do a little bit of stamping to match whatever you're going to put in your card, you would do it at this stage before you stick it on. So I'm just going to put that down there like that and glue on. Then the only other bit I'm going to show you today is how to put the struts in the middle, which is where you're going to affix the things that jump out. So if I can show you, can you see it's got some pieces of card here, which is what I've attached my deer to. You can see better in the bottom here. So we're just going to add these little bits here, and then tomorrow I'm going to show you how I finished off the decoration of it. So there's the basis of my box, and all I need to put is put those struts. So that's where this piece of card comes in that we had at the beginning. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut, we want that little tab on there, and we're going to cut this so that it has another little tab, and then we're going to cut here so that there's another little tab over there, and here. So what you will end up with, these pieces you don't need, but you end up with two pieces that when we score those lines should fit exactly in our box, because they were scored in exactly the same place as our box was. So that's why we needed to keep it, and that's why we needed to score them before we and this is one of the bits that's a little bit fiddly. So what we need to do is we need to glue on these sides, and then we're going to fit them into our card so that they're sitting there ready for things to be stuck onto. So a little bit of Tombow. So like I say, this is a little bit fiddly, but it's not too bad. If I've managed to do it, you can manage to do it. And I've got all sorts of ideas for these cards. I've gone with reindeer on this one and the other one, but actually I'm thinking about doing one with snowflakes as well, which I think would be rather nice. I might have to alter it slightly. I might have to use some acetate. So when you're sticking these in, try and keep them straight so they're parallel to the back panel, because otherwise you'll have problems closing your card. So there we go, there's one of my struts put in, and I'm just going to glue on here and here, and put this one in as well. So if you wanted to, you could put more of these struts in, as long as you get the score lines in exactly the right place so that they fit exactly. So just while the glue is still a little bit wet, I'm just going to check that it fits and it goes flat, because otherwise you're in trouble when you try to put it in an envelope. So there we go. I know that my card will go flat now. There we go. And that can just dry. So that's the basis of the exploding card, the exploding box card. Tomorrow I will come back and I will show you how I decorated my card, so please pop back and see me then. Till then, thanks for watching. If you need to buy any of the materials that I've used today, pop down and you can click through to my shop, or the blog post related to this card will be there as well. Okay, and hopefully see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.